Good morning, students. I hope you're fine. Well, I am fine. And this term 4, we're going to talk about apartheid in South Africa in our history class. Okay, fine. To introduce the topic about apartheid, we're going to talk about segregation and racism that started in the 1920s and ended in the 1930s. Okay, fine. What comes into your mind when you hear the word racism or segregation? Okay, fine. Notando, what comes to your mind when you hear the word racism or segregation? Okay, go on. Thank you very much, Notando. Okay, fine. I am going to tell you what exactly is segregation or racism. Okay, fine. Racism is when people are discriminated according to their race. And segregation is the systematical separation of people according to their race, ethnic groups, and all that. Of which means National Party was about separating the races of the people. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It was about separating people according to their places. If you're black, you're gonna live with the blacks. If you're white, you're gonna live with the white. Okay, fine, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the foundation of segregation and racism, how exactly it started, why, who was exactly in the basement of the segregation and racism. Okay, between 1910 and 1938, the White Parliament passed several laws to govern South African, Indian, and colored people living in towns, commands, own farms, and so-called reserve. Okay, fine. It says here between 1910 and 1938, the white parliament started to separate people according to their races, which means that whites were put into superior places because they're white. It was believed that white people are superior than any other race in South Africa or in any other place. Okay, fine. The blacks were taken as the people who are not important, dumb, they deserve nothing good. That is why, that is how it actually started. Okay, fine. Um, except being separated from places, there were also jobs reserved for white people, job reserved for Indians, job reserved for coloreds, and jobs reserved for blacks, in which white people were given jobs that are superior, that have got high wages or salaries, good working conditions, while blacks, Indians, and coloreds were given those cleaning jobs that paid less. They did not respect them. That is how it actually went during those times. Okay, fine. The white government then decided that no, there needs to be laws that need to be followed. You can't just live in a country, you know. They then put laws that oppressed the Indians, coloreds, and black people. For example, there was that segregation law that says that people, when you're black, you colored or Indian, you should always carry your certificate that shows where do you live. I hope you understand. Do you understand? Are you still with me? Because when you live in a place, you need to register that you're living in Fort Frustrated if you're living there. You need to register that you're living in Bloemfontein if you live in Bloemfontein. Then everywhere you go, you're going to carry a certificate that's written that you are living in Bloemfontein every time. You need to carry that certificate that shows your residence. You need to carry your pass everywhere you go, because once you are caught without your certificate of residence or your pass, then you're going to be arrested. I hope you stay with me, class. What is it that you would like to know? Something that you don't understand? Because we are moving now. You understand? Okay, fine, thank you. Okay, now, how did the people, blacks, when I say the people, I mean the blacks, Indian, and coloreds, resisted those segregation laws, started to fight against the racism? Okay, fine. Uh, we're going to talk about this man called Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian lawyer who graduated in London. He was then hired in South Africa. I hope you understand that. He is an Indian, graduated in London, but then he works in South Africa. One of the days when Mahatma Gandhi was moving from Durban to Pretoria for a court case, he was escorted from a bus because he seated in a space reserved for white people only. Then they were like, no, no, just get off the bus. We can't do this. Okay, fine. Mahatma Gandhi decided, no, I won't be taken for granted. He decided to fight against segregation and racism. For him to fight, what did he do? Mahatma Gandhi sat down, thought about it. He then put people into groups so that they're going to march into the buildings of the white people so that they know that they are fighting against racism.